Hey everyone, welcome back. The last couple of videos have been pretty heavy topics, and I just wanted to do a little quick walk around because the weather is fantastic. So I was out walking around the food forest, and I've been pulling some of the tags off of my trees, and I'll show you some dangers that you can have if you leave the identification tags that you get from the nursery on your trees. So let's go take a look at that, and we'll check out how the chickens are doing. See, so when you buy a tree, you'll often get tags like this. This is a Bartlett pear. And you'll see that I moved it up onto the branch. And I've been going around doing that with all the trees, because what you'll actually find is they'll start to dig into the actual trunk. So here's another example here. This is a golden spice pear that is a drip edge companion plant to this overstory maple. It's actually on the south side of this maple here. And the drip edge is really good because that's where, all the rains, when they come in on an angle, will hit these leaves and drip down, and you get this concentration of fertility around drip edges of existing trees. It's a really good way to expand your food forest. But this here is a golden spice pear, and you'll see that I kind of moved the tag. So golden spice there. I moved this tag because it was here. And you can see that it's already starting to do quite a bit of damage to this tree, and I caught it well in time. What will actually start happening is the tree will actually start growing around these tags, trying to kind of compartmentalize and seal in that tag so they can grow around it, but you can girdle the tree and kill it. Here's a heart nut, and you can kind of see the same thing, the damage from this tag. So I'll just put it up and I'll move it onto a branch, and I'll check these every single year. This is a heart nut, IMSHU heart nut from Whiffle Tree, and these ones are doing really well. All my Whiffle Tree trees have been doing fantastic. This one is just south of a flowering dogwood, which is a great bird tree, and heart nut it's a juggling species, so it can impede the ability to grow of other trees around it. So I don't really mind if it, in the maybe 30 years from now, if it starts competing with this dogwood, because this dogwood will probably end up pretty much being done its end of life at that point, and then I can transition this southern guild into a tolerant jugland species guild that lets me plant more Bart nuts and heart nuts and walnuts in this section of the food forest here. Here's the same guild from another angle here, and we've got some persimmons on the south side, which is a little further away. And persimmons are known to do pretty well. We've got some pawpaws in and around here as well, just on the drip edge of this dogwood, and they're known to do really well with juglone. And then we've also got some raspberries planted in there and sea buckthorn. But sometimes we have to think into the future, and that if we want to have some of these juglone species like heart nuts, which I did a video on heart nuts, I think they're one of the best nuts that I can grow here, just for the volume they produce and the ease of harvest. So we've started adding in some smaller new ones, and we're going to think about transitioning some of this area into, a juglands guild that we can use as a demonstration during our videos, and then also get a nice nut harvest and protein yield off of our land as well. So just because a dogwood maybe doesn't like juglone and other trees might not like juglone, doesn't mean that this plant here is going to be putting out a ton of juglone in the near term. It's going to be 30-40 years down the road when this thing's starting to put out the juglone that's going to suppress the things around it. By the time that happens, we won't necessarily care about that dogwood anymore, for example. And this peach that's back in here, this pear, it's a multi-graft pear. Asian pears are grafted onto that, and that tree might be kind of coming into the end of its production cycle. Check out that beautiful wasp nest. Isn't that fantastic up in the dogwood? So anytime you see these wasps in and around your food forest, if you don't necessarily have to get into there, then it's actually good to leave them up, because they're fantastic garden friends. We don't like wasps, but neither does anything else. Wasps are kind of a-holes to everybody, and they'll actually eat a lot of the pests that eat your other food. So my wife's telling me I gotta go. I think we'll just end that one here, and we're gonna go around and systematically pull some of the other tags off later on when we get back from hockey. But I did just want to pop over real quick without making my wife too mad, and we will just show you this one here. This is a string tag. So these ones you have to be really careful, because you see how the tree has kind of eaten right into that string. If this was all the way around, which thankfully it wasn't, but if that was all the way around the tree, then you could do a lot of damage. You can see the tag, I had moved it up here, but the wind had actually pulled it around here, and it had flown up around and got caught there, and then the tree grew around it. But this branch here, I'm not sure how this will heal off. It'd probably be okay, but I can remove a branch, but cutting out the main trunk of a tree is bad. So I think the proper place for any of these kind of tags, let me get this so we don't get garbage flying off in the food forest, but I think the proper way to tag a tree is to do it on the branch and not on the main trunk. So when you plant your trees, I think it's a good idea to pull off the actual tag off of a trunk and stick it onto a branch. And here's an example where it might be hard to do that sometimes. Here's an apple. I'll just show you. Apples and pears will tend to grow like this. This one here, it's basically just a giant 7 or 8 foot vertical piece, and it only started to put on these laterals just this past season. So we'll have to come in and clean these up. Actually, I just noticed it doesn't have a trunk protector. We'll have to add that too, but we'll have to come in and clean this up to get good scaffolding branches where we want them. And I actually like leaving a low one for rabbit browse in the future. So we're actually going to start doing that more. We're going to leave a nice low branch for rabbit browse. Sometimes people will tell you not to do that because it'll create dampness down at the ground, which could cause fungal problems to perpetuate. But to me, protecting against rabbits is more important than that. So we're going to always leave some low branches when we prune. Anyway, I think I'll leave you there. Hopefully there's a couple things in this video that were useful to you, and I'll see you guys on the next one. And we'll start getting into more of these food, forest, and gardening things, and off some of these heavier activism and climate and economy and capitalism topics as the weather starts and continues to warm up, and we can actually get outside comfortably and farm, film some food, forest, and permaculture stuff. So this season's going to be fantastic, and I can't wait to take you guys all along with me. And I've been really enjoying the comments and the back and forth, and I hope that continues for a lifetime. So peace and love, everybody. See you on the next one.